Welcome to the Nation Diplomatic Dispatch, your window into the world of diplomacy and international affairs. I'm NADIAH Abdul Latif. Today we're honored to be joined with Her Excellency Ms. LADA PHUMAS, Ambassador of Thailand to Malaysia, to explore the deepening diplomatic and economic ties between the two countries. Thank you so much for being with us today, Your Excellency. Is it Yindi Tonrapka? Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Nadia. Very pleasure to be with Burnama again today. And Sawadika, Nadia.
Sawadika to you too. Now let's talk about Malaysia-Thailand bilateral relations. You know, there's a lot of things that have been happening of late, but this relationship goes back decades, even pre-Merdeka. So we know that Prime Minister Dato Sri Anwar Ibrahim reaffirmed Malaysia's commitment to the bilateral ties, and we're always looking forward to work closely with Thailand for mutual success and regional development. Now, how would you describe the current state of affairs, the relationship between these two nations, especially with the new administration?
I have to say that Thailand and Malaysia have long enjoyed very close, cordial, and also multifaceted relations at all levels. So under the current administration of Prime Minister Paetongtarn Shinawatra of Thailand and Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim, our bilateral ties actually have reached a new chapter, which is, we have to admit that this is a remarkable time for us, and I can describe as a dynamism and high-level engagement and share strategic vision. And we have seen remarkable progress, especially through the frequent exchanges of high-level visits between the two prime ministers, and the recent phone call between Prime Minister Anwar and Prime Minister Paetongtarn Shinawatra on the 8th of May, actually just not long after Prime Minister Anwar's working visit to Thailand.
Yes.
If I remember, it's on the 17th to 18th of April, same month. So this is the testament that both of them are committed to work together to deepen our cooperation and also in fostering sustainable peace and inclusive socio-economic development, especially in the border areas. And of course, I am very pleased that the two prime ministers will meet again.
Yes.
Yes, during the 46th ASEAN Summit and related summits.
And coming at the end of this month.
Yes, of course, and next week, right? So I'm looking forward for very active engagement and also very productive outcome. And let's talk about the bilateral. What are our priorities at the moment? During the Prime Minister working visit to Thailand, last month, you see everything happen very close, back to back with each other. So that's keep very good dynamism and momentum of the bilateral relations.
Definitely.
One of the highlight of the visit is the signing of the construction agreement for the second Sungai Korok Bridge, Sungai Korok Rantau Panjang Bridge, linking Narathiwat province of Thailand and Kelantan state of Malaysia. And this second Sungai Korok Rantau Panjang Bridge, and together along with the upcoming launching of the road alignment between the new CIQ Sadao of Songkhla province of Thailand, I think everyone has used this CIQ, you know, Bukit Kayu Hitam and Sadao.
Yes.
Right? So there will be the road alignment, the launching of this connecting road. So I think this is the two priority of the infrastructure connectivity between the two countries.
Your Excellency, when you're talking about the relationship that Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim has with Prime Minister Paetongtarn Shinawatra, we've also seen that really close collaboration, especially in advisory roles for ASEAN. We've seen the two, leaders coming together. And in your view, with the current momentum that ASEAN has as leader and chairmanship that we are having so far, what do you think are perhaps some of the areas where both Thailand and Malaysia can use the current momentum and the relationship that we have. You mentioned Bukit Kayu Hitam, you mentioned the rail projects that are being done, but coming into this end of the month, and to your point, this 1 week, the next ASEAN discussion that's happening, what are perhaps some of the things that you believe we can also look at?
Because actually, I think we have to admit the bilateral relations add a lot of momentum to the regional cooperation. For example, the infrastructure cooperation will bring about the better connectivity between the two countries and the two people. And at the same time, Thailand has any additional project, or Malaysia has any additional project, it can be connected throughout. So I think Malaysia chairmanship, it's very important, and I think we really strongly committed to work together with Malaysia with a very strategic focus and also clear leadership of Malaysia, and how we can build up the regional economic growth and enhance resilience and also promoting sustainable development. And if you recall the beginning of the year that ASEAN Foreign Minister retreat in Langkawi, I was there as well. I think that forum, that retreat set forward what would be the achievement of Malaysia chairmanship this year, especially on the ASEAN Community Vision 2045.
Yeah.
Yes.
And when we're talking about Malaysia's theme for ASEAN, it's inclusivity and sustainability. Everything that you mentioned earlier, that's aligned to everything about resilience of the region, especially with the current geopolitical shift that we see right now. How do you believe current ASEAN priorities are aligned to Thailand's own national and regional goals?
We, Thailand, fully support Malaysia chairmanship's theme of inclusivity and sustainability. I think it's timely and comprehensive, and of course, perfectly aligned with Thai national priorities and ASEAN priorities, ASEAN aspirations, with having people at the center and leave no one behind. I think Thailand, Malaysia, and ASEAN, this is kind of motto, put people at the heart of our cooperation, of our partnership. So we committed to advance ASEAN common agenda across all three pillars of ASEAN community. For inclusivity, NADIAH, you just mentioned, inclusivity, sustainability. So I enlarge a little bit in terms of political security and economic, and also social cultural community of the three pillars. As I mentioned, I look forward for the launch of the ASEAN Community Vision 2045 at the upcoming 46th ASEAN Summit, and all the plan of action of the three pillars, along with ASEAN connectivity blueprint. And for inclusivity, what does it mean? So we see people as being, people will be safe from all the challenge, from all the emerging challenge. This is why we have to work together to promote ASEAN centrality, inclusive dialogue and constructive engagement, both within ASEAN itself, and also with the external partners, and of course through the ASEAN-led mechanism. This is inclusivity in terms of political and security cooperation. But on economic, what we expect, we would love to see deeper regional integration, and it's very vital, especially in light of this current, geopolitics uncertainties.
Yes.
So I think we should work towards the fully implementation or utilization of the existing free trade arrangement among ourselves.
Yes.
Or the one that we already have, like RCEP, Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership. And at the same time, we should explore or look forward to having this kind of agreement with our friends, our partner like the EU. The agreement with the EU would enhance our cooperation in a wider region outside ASEAN, and which is very important market also for ASEAN. So this is on economic front. And of course, Thailand, you mentioned, what is allied with Thailand? Thailand, we are now the chair of what we call ASEAN Digital Economy Framework Agreement, or DIFA. If you follow in the news, Minister Gobin, Minister Safru always mention of how DIFA can enhance ASEAN to be the world's fourth largest economy by 2030. So that is what Thailand also work closely with ASEAN.
I love the fact that you talked about DIFA and how really, if you're talking about the penetration of internet in the different regions of the world, Southeast Asia, or at least Asia, is really the hub of a lot of things that are happening. And with that comes not only the increased number of people online, the number of people who are in digital economy jobs, but of course also the challenges that come together with being in a country that's so wired online.
Correct.
And with that, I just wanted to highlight, you mentioned collaboration in security, collaboration in the space of digital economy. I love the fact that we have seen Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim, as well as the agencies that are in Thailand, are actually fully committed to cross-boundary efforts and collaborations, not only with tech companies but also government agencies, to be looking at challenges, for example, preventing AI scams, looking at transnational efforts that tackle issues of narcotics control. And I wanted to highlight this. The issue of scams, and has been happening quite a lot in the last few years, has caused Malaysia and Thailand to actually lose billions. Now the challenge with that is 70% of this is very often goes underreported or unreported, and a lot of this are exacerbated by deep fake challenges. Your Excellency, we were just talking about this prior to the program starting, the number of deep fake scams that have happened, and we've seen deep fake scams coming out for investments, coming out on identity theft, coming out on shopping scams. But we also know that Malaysia and Thailand have worked very closely on tackling some of these cross-border challenges. So could you perhaps share a little bit more on that?
Yes, actually, in fact, what we can do in the bilateral cooperation already, like border security, and that's also amplify our efforts, not only on bilateral but also in the region, in ASEAN and other countries, even other countries outside the region. In bilaterally, I just went to MCMC recently, and I'm very happy that Thailand and MCMC has very good and close cooperation. So this is one of the area that we can support or enhance the digital economy or safe use of digital.
And that's the important part, right? Yeah. Safe use
of the digital, in time of this, in light of these new technologies coming up. And you just mentioned about scam, online scam, but come back to the security. Border security also important.
Yes.
Thailand and Malaysia, we have existing mechanism, at the border level and also at the bilateral level. And we just have good cooperation just last month. If you follow the news, it's not just our cooperation, it's not on the paper, but it's operational.
Yes.
If you remember the case on the 24th of April, this last month,
yes,
there's a case of dismantling a major Thai-Malaysian drug trafficking. So this is the network. So we can seize over 260 kilograms of crystal methamphetamine, and the arrest of the suspect in Songkhla follow over a month of very close coordination between, and also real time.
Yeah.
This is very important between the Office of Narcotic Board of Thailand and Royal Malaysia Police. This is just one sample, and to show you that this is real and real time, because we have trust and we have joint commitment to work together. And even in the larger picture, so that you have the case of the online scam,
yes,
along of the border, and that's also we have done very good cooperation with, I have to say, with support of the relevant countries concerned. Then we can facilitate the arrest and the repatriation of foreign nationals, including Malaysia.
Yeah.
And that's also demonstrated how effective is not only bilateral but regional cooperation with Thailand and Malaysia. Also, other countries can join hands together.
And I think what's amazing about the examples that you gave, Your Excellency, is that they're real, actual examples of not just two prime ministers signing paper, but actual real action on the ground that has led to the benefit of both countries together. When you were talking about the transnational crime and narcotics control, when you were talking about the online scam, it is definitely an issue that's not special to Malaysia. It's happening across the region and the world. We're seeing a lot more people becoming drug mules, people who are otherwise victimized by people with ill intentions. So understanding that both countries have very strong views about what they want to do and how they're going to collaborate has actually benefited not only the sense of security, and to your point earlier, Your Excellency, ensure that the general population is not left behind, that there are redress, that there are protections, especially when things go wrong. Now, what is Thailand's view on...
NADIAH,
yes.
Maybe another one thing that I would like to add, it's not just only on border or security issues. Soft issues like on the socio-cultural cooperation also very important.
Yes.
So we have to admit that public health also issue of our concern, right? Public health or transboundary health.
Yes.
So I think that's the area that we can also work together, not only bilaterally but in ASEAN. And on transboundary health, I think ASEAN are also committed to work together. And for your information, Thailand, it's currently we are the chair, the host of the ASEAN Center for Public Health Emergencies and Emerging Diseases. And we are working towards the operationalization of the center. That's why to enhance the region preparedness for the emerging disease.
You mentioned something very important. Preparedness for emerging disease. Actually, we can learn a lot from what was happening in Thailand during COVID in comparison to what was happening also in Malaysia during COVID. And you said, with Thailand being the chair, what are some of the things that Thailand has got planned for preparedness of public pandemics? We were just talking about, God forbid, the comeback of a global pandemic.
I think we learn from the past. What is good for public health, for health of the people in the region, right? So if we have the new strain coming and it has been adjusted or has been changed, the strain, how we can coordinate in terms of public health. Of course, we have WHO, which is a larger picture that can also contribute to our regional cooperation. I think we have lots can do, learning from the experience, from past experience. So secondly, how to cooperate further to prevent the changing of the protection of the livelihood of the people.
Definitely.
I think that's also another areas that we can look into. And altogether, I think another things that link to people-centered, it's sustainable development.
Definitely.
That's why we also, Thailand also very keen because we are coordinator for sustainable development cooperation as well. And we will work on several initiatives under the ASEAN Outlook on Indo-Pacific. To make it real and very beneficial for the people. That's on sustainable development. And we also host for the Center for Sustainable Development Studies and Dialogue. That's based in Thailand, and we are working together, not only among ASEAN ourselves, but we would love to engage with the dialogue partners outside. So bring them expertise in and see how they can also contribute to ASEAN.
Yeah. Your Excellency, when you're talking about sustainable development, you're talking about how can we create this inclusive dialogue between countries. I think it's also important to highlight the work that we're doing together for both nations in terms of agricultural trade, in terms of food security. Both are agrarian economies that have become industrialized. If we're looking at the bilateral agricultural trade, it's over 20 billion Malaysian ringgit in terms of trade between the two countries. What do you foresee are some of the steps to maybe diversify the partnership that we have together and improve the food security issue that we would have in this region?
First of all, this is for your information that Thailand and Malaysia, we have bilateral trade target at 30 billion USD that we are committed to achieve by 2027.
2027, yes.
And last year in 2024, our two-way trade has reached 26 billion USD. And with the border trade actually accounting a significant share of the approximately 33%. So this is the border trade. So you have bilateral trade, you have border trade, right? And then for the border trade between Thailand and Malaysia, it's the highest among Thailand with other neighboring countries. So Malaysia, you know, we share the border, so that's why the volume it's quite high.
Do you think we're going to reach 30 billion before 2027?
Of course, because why? I actually, this is the maybe the news for our Malaysian friends has not known yet, but in fact, Ministry of Agriculture of Thailand already allow Thai to export beef to Malaysia. So starting from January 2025, that's what we was informed. But however, they have to go through step to the process, like investigation of the slaughter, the farms. That is under the process. So that's why we urge Malaysian government to expedite the process so that it can increase the border trade and also serve with food security in Malaysia.
Your Excellency, one last question, super important. When we're talking about Thailand and Malaysia, it's impossible to not talk about tourism and the fact that the both nation love visiting each other. We know that, you know, just last year we saw approximately 1.64 million Thai tourists coming to Malaysia, which was a 19.7% increase compared to the previous year. And we also know that conversely, Thailand had 3.7 Malaysian visitors over from just Jan to September. Now, could you tell us a little bit more about the Thailand digital arrival card and plans for tourism in your beautiful nation so that more can come?
Yes, this is very timely and the right time for this question. I just would like to publicize that those are all foreigners traveling into Thailand. Now you have to fill in TDAC.
Yeah.
So it's the same like MDAC. You know, this is to streamline the process and facilitate the movement, the flow of people, so that you will not spend much of time, you know, at the border. And of course, we would love to have more Malaysian friends to come to Thailand. And last year, Malaysia, in fact, remained our second largest source of international tourists. And this year, only the first 4 months, we have 1.5 million Malaysian visitors already. Yeah, in Thailand, and we have we have all mode of traveling by air, which we have 300 flights per week, you know, to 5 destinations in Thailand, like Chiang Mai, Pattaya, Phuket, Krabi, Hua Hin, Hat Yai, and also from 3 destinations, only 3, you know, like in Penang, Kota Baru, and KL. And of course, we have Bukit Kayu Hitam, Sadao, Padang Besar. We have sea route ferry services. Yes. You know, like Langkawi. Yes. I think people love to go to Satun or Koh Lipe. Yeah. You know, so this is what we are doing to facilitate. However, I think this is an initiative, Thailand initiative. We would love Thai tourists and also ASEAN or tourists outside ASEAN to come to Malaysia as well.
Definitely, yes.
So we are working on Thailand's initiative we call six countries, one destination.
Right, 6 countries, 1 destination.
Yes, so that will boosting our bilateral and also regional connectivity a lot.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency. Unfortunately, that's all the time that we have today. Khop kun ka. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. And for everyone that's watching, please don't forget to stay safe and be kind. And for our friends from Thailand, don't forget to come to Malaysia and vice versa. Take care.
Thank you. Thank you, Nadia.